day. It is Chris. It is May the 30th, a Thursday. Remember, live stream tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. So I came across a poll. A Democratic firm called Navigator Research did a poll where they asked people, do you know what Project 2025 is? They didn't provide any more information. And 76% of the public said they did not know what Project 2025 was, which made me think, maybe I should talk about what Project 2025 is and educate people about what's in it. So that's what this video is. So Project 2025, let's start broad. Project 2025 is an effort being led by the Heritage Foundation, which is a longtime conservative think tank, but there's lots of other conservative organizations involved in it too. And the goal of it, effectively, is to come up with a blueprint for Trumpian management of the government if and when Donald Trump wins in November. It runs on the idea that when Donald Trump was elected in 2016, he had sort of broad ideas of what he liked, but he didn't have specific policies and he didn't have ways to get those policies implemented throughout the federal government. So he spent years, multiple years, mostly his presidency, trying to figure these things out, trying to figure out what policies, what specific things could make good on promises he made on the campaign trail. Project 2025 is an attempt to say, we're going to give you this thing so that you don't have to worry about that. We're going to show department by department throughout the government how you can implement the things you care about. Now, before we go into it, it's important to say Donald Trump and his campaign have not endorsed this effort. Donald Trump and his campaign have not said, yes, I will definitely embrace these things if and when I am elected president. But it's a 920-page document with lots and lots of Trump-friendly arguments in it, so I think it is worth at least going into. So what's in it? Well, I mentioned it's a 920-page document, so the answer is a lot. And what they do is they go department by department, and a lot of it is sort of minutia. It's a lot of small bore stuff. It's a lot of very particular specific stuff as it relates to each agency. But let me just talk about broadly what's in it. I'm going to go through a few things. Okay, so there's some animating ideas. One, climate change is overstated. The idea that the climate is warming is broadly overstated, and the government does not need to be playing a role in trying to stop that warming because the warming is overstated. DEI, so diversity, equity, and inclusion measures, need to be ripped out by the root from government. That these things are, in fact, racism, paying too much attention to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and it is not the government's role to get involved in that. They want to take aim at the administrative state. That's their language. Now, what does that mean? It means that the federal bureaucracy is too big. There are too many people who are entrenched in it for too long. Those people are not loyal to the president. They are sort of longtime non-political people, and those people should be replaced by or overseen by, and this gets to my next point, more political appointees. So they want more appointees in virtually every department of the government. They want people that Donald Trump has handpicked who are loyal to Donald Trump and who have broad authority to do what they want without the sort of non-political people who have been in government through many administrations getting involved. So they want to get rid of many of those non-political people. They want them replaced with political appointees, and they want to empower those political appointees to have more broad sway. They also want to make the executive branch more powerful, make the president have more say, more ability to get what he wants when he wants. And as a result of that, they want to reduce the influence of Congress, in particular with oversight. So one of Congress's main jobs is oversight. They oversee both. They oversee the government. They oversee, they hold hearings. They do investigations, all that sort of stuff. Under Project 2025, that would happen much, much less. Congress would not really be empowered to do oversight. Now, there are other specific things, too. They want to repeal the Inflation Reduction Act. They want to militarize the southern border. They want to make the Justice Department far more loyal to Donald Trump as opposed to a quasi-independent agency. I mean, again, it's a 920-page document, so there's lots and lots of stuff in it. But this would be a radical rethinking of the way in which the federal government, the presidency, the Congress worked. Now, does this matter? Will Donald Trump, regardless of what he says now, will Donald Trump ultimately say, yes, I want to do all these things? So I'm divided on that. On the one hand, Trump doesn't really have a lot of specific policy ideas, right? He has sort of broad strokes. We need to stop illegal immigrants from coming into this country. We need to get crime under control. Like, these are broad strokes. There's no like specifics really on how to do it. So on the one hand, Project 2025 would give him a way to do that, right? It would give him a specific blueprint, even if he didn't follow all of it, specific ideas on how to accomplish his big broad brush goals. Now, on the other hand, Donald Trump really doesn't like to be told what to do, right? We know that. He thinks he knows best, always. So does he really want to take advice from a bunch of conservative eggheads, which is what he probably thinks these people are, telling him how to run his government, right? Maybe not. To me, we need to engage seriously with Project 2025. We need to pay attention, know what's in it, know how similar those plans are to things that Donald Trump has proposed or talked about on the campaign trail. At the same time, I think we should not assume that this is Donald Trump's governing agenda. He is someone who does not like to be told what to do. He is not someone who follows the orders, follows rules. So I'm not sure he would accept this whole cloth. But even if he took pieces of it, it's important for us to know what's in it. And what is in it is nothing short of a radical rethinking of how the federal government works, the role of the presidency, and the role of Congress. And that's a big deal, and that's why we need to pay attention to Project 2025. All right, that's it for me today. Like I said at the top, we are doing a live stream tomorrow at 1 p.m., so I hope you'll check that out. As always, I ask you, subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Like this video to help me with the algorithm. I'll ask you another thing. Comment on this video, which helps me with the algorithm. And last thing, tell 5 friends. Or 5 enemies, but just spread the word that I'm making videos every single day. All right, take care. Be well.